If you're planning Disney with a toddler, you're probably considering an all-star resort. However, there is one very big reason that I want you to reconsider. Now, I want to start by saying that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the all-star resorts. They're actually very cute. I stayed there myself last year when I was at Walt Disney World for work, actually. I stayed at All-Star Movies. There's nothing wrong with the resort itself, but there is one reason why I would never stay there with my toddler. The reason that I don't like to stay at All Stars resorts with a toddler and why I don't recommend it to any of my clients has to do with transportation. At All Stars resorts, your only option to get to and from all 4 theme parks plus Disney Springs is by bus. And when you have to deal with a stroller, it just makes things a lot more complicated. So I just want to say, I don't bring our stroller with us when we go to Walt Disney World, even though we're just a 2.5-hour flight away. We actually choose to rent. We rent through Kingdom Strollers because we can pick one up at the airport, and it's got a little more storage than, say, like an umbrella stroller, but this one's just way too big to fly with, so we don't. Now you're probably wondering, how hard could it be to get on and off the bus with a baby or a toddler in a stroller? I hope you get a kick out of this because I'm going to show you. So it's hot, so we always bring our fan, so that's one thing. We have our diaper bag. We always keep everything separate. He's going to be we have a 3-year-old, so the 3-year-old is going to be have different things than the rest of us. So we always carry his diaper bag with just like extra clothes, things like that. We also have a separate bag that's going to hold things like like the sunscreen and the snacks and like ponchos, things like that. So that's going to be for the rest of us. We're going to have a separate bag. Chargers, all that goes in a separate bag. Now, if you are going to Disney, tell me you're not going to get souvenirs. I don't have a Disney bag, but I do have a big Squishmallow. And sometimes it's this big. So you're going to have all your t-shirts, pillows, blankets, whatever you buy, that's also going to be in your stroller. Now, it's hot, so you are going to have things like water bottles, reusable mugs. One thing, we don't usually bring reusable mugs into the park with us, and that's simply because they're not waterproof, or they're not leak proof. They have improved the top. These are a little bit older, but regardless whether you bring something like, I like this when I go on my work trips by myself because it gets smaller and then I can just throw it in my bag without it taking up a lot of space, but yet I can still have water on me. But regardless, you're going to have sippy cups, you're going to have water bottles, all that stuff. That's usually what we bring with us. We try to go as light as we can. However, the stroller's still going to have a bunch of stuff in it. So now when you get to the bus, you have maybe you have room for everything. That's great. Hands-free all day. Now you get to the bus, all this stuff has to come out, because the thing with the bus is kid has to come out, so does everything. And you have to fold up your stroller and hold everything. And if you are trying to get back to your resort at the end of the night, when everybody else is trying to get back to the resort at the end of the night, not only are you going to be holding everything, you're going to be standing. And that's the part of the day that I hate the most, and why I try to either leave, if we're not going to see fireworks, leave early. If we do stay for fireworks, don't leave directly after the fireworks, because that's when everyone's going to be going back to the bus. So I will, even holding back and like staying in the park for an extra maybe 20-30 minutes, once you go back out to the buses, it's not going to be as busy. But now this is the part of the day that I hate the worst, because not only do you have your souvenirs, you've got your water bottles, you can't even throw these in a bag because they're not leak proof, they'll spill everywhere, so you got to hold these. You have your bag with everything in it, you have your diaper bag. Hopefully you have someone else with you who can, hold the baby, fold up the stroller. Hopefully you have someone else, because if not, quite frankly, this is impossible. Wondering, how do you avoid all of this? And the answer to that is don't stay at All Stars, quite honestly. You can't avoid the bus 100%, but if you stay at a resort that you can walk to a park, if you can get a Skyliner, get a ferry, get a monorail, all of those things, you know, all of this can stay in with your stroller and you can just wheel it right on. It's so much easier than having to do this multiple times a day. Now, if you were looking forward to staying at All Stars and now you're like, but I really don't want to deal with that, now where do I stay? Just find my quote request form. I am a certified travel advisor and I have been for many years now, and I can help you find a resort that matches not only what you're looking for, but within your budget. It is possible, trust me. So just go find that, and I'd be happy to match you with the right resort that isn't an All Stars resort. All right, until next time, bye.